What is up, everyone? Mark here with the first installment of Orange Vest Extra. Today, since we're not tackling a whole Blue Apron meal, I wanted to talk about just one of the sides, and that is potatoes. I think Blue Apron seems to lean on potatoes an awful lot as a side dish. Most of the time, it's just mashed or cut up and roasted in the oven with some oil and some spices of various sorts. Which is fine. Those are fine ways to make potato. But I wanted to show you another way that we can elevate the potato, and we're going to make Hasselback potatoes today. Classic potato preparation, super easy. But before we get to that, I just want to thank you guys again for continuing to watch the videos and for liking and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. You can click the watermark in the corner or the red button down below. If you're watching on Facebook right now, go over to youtube.com/markburn where you can subscribe. If you enjoy the videos, give them a thumbs up. And most of all, I'm just glad that you guys are continuing to watch. So let's take a look at the ingredients. Okay, so I've prepared this today to do 2 potatoes. Presuming that you might want to do something different with your Blue Apron potatoes. You don't have to do this with your potatoes from Blue Apron. Obviously, you can do this with your own potatoes, and you can do more than 2 if you want. You can scale the recipe up very easily. But again, for today, we're just doing 2. So we are starting with 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 ounce of shredded Monterey Jack cheese. You can use really any cheese you want here, but it should be something that's kind of the melty type of cheese. It's about 1/4 cup grated. Then we want about 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan. We want half a teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. And I'm using panko breadcrumbs here, but you can use plain breadcrumbs if that's what you've got, if that's what you prefer. We're going to need a little bit of olive oil, of course, and salt and pepper. So the first thing we want to do is really the super simple recipe is find where your potato sits flat the best, because that's where we're going to cut it. Okay, about like that. So on that flat side, we're going to cut off just about 1/4 inch plank of that outside skin so that it really sits flat. Okay. And we're also going to cut off about 1/4 inch from the end of each potato. Okay, now we're going to cut the potatoes or slice them into 1/4 inch segments, but we don't want to cut all the way through. So we want to leave about 1/4 inch at the bottom. So I'm just using chopsticks here as sort of spacers. And we'll slice. Okay, there we go. Now this step is important. We want to rinse these under running water, and we want to make sure that we get water in between each of these slices. It's important because when we bake this, the starch that's in between there is going to just glue everything shut if we don't do that. We want this to bake so that it fans open all nice, and in order to do that, we have to kind of wash out some of the starch between the slices. Okay, now we want to put these cut sides down on a plate. And we are going to microwave this for 4 minutes, about 8 minutes total. We're going to flip them halfway through, so about 4 minutes, full power, flip them 4 more minutes. This is only partially cooking them. They're still going to go in the oven after this, but we want to get them partly cooked in the microwave. Okay, while the potatoes are in the microwave, we can do the breadcrumb topping. So we're going to just basically mix everything here. I'm going to add the cheeses. The paprika. The garlic powder. The breadcrumbs. A little bit of salt and pepper. And just mix this up with a fork. And with the breadcrumbs and the melted butter and the cheese, there's kind of a lot of different textures going on here. Just try to make sure you do get things mixed up pretty well. Okay, I'm going to set that aside, and let's go get our potatoes out of the microwave. Now, as you can see, they've already started to fan out a bit, but we are going to place these on a baking sheet, and we are just going to brush them all over on the outside with some olive oil. Oop. A little bit much there. And you know, some of this is going to dribble down in between, but that's okay. I mean, we're not trying to do that. We really just want to get the oil on the skin, but it's okay that some of it's going to dribble down there, of course. Okay, and these are going to go into our 450-degree oven for about 25 minutes. When they come out, we're going to top them with the breadcrumb mixture and then just put them under the broiler for a minute to let the breadcrumbs kind of get melty, bubbly, brown, and gooey. All right, we'll check on these in 25 minutes. Okay, it's exactly what we want to see. How it's all nicely fanning out. Okay, so now we're just going to pack our breadcrumb mixture on top of these things. And I know it's hot, but if you're careful, really the easiest way to do this is just with your hands. And just try and get some in between each little slice. And at the same time, we're going to set the broiler. Now the inevitable questions here are, can you do this with any kind of potato? And the answer is no. Unfortunately, you really have to use a russet potato for this. Other potatoes just don't have the right texture to hold up to it. The russet is a very firm, very starchy potato, so it can take all of what we're doing to it here. And also, as you can see, really the only thing that varies in this recipe at all is the amount of the breadcrumbs. I mean, you know, the baking temperature and times and all that would be the same. So really, you just need to make more of the breadcrumbs if you wanted to make more of these potatoes. So it's not a hard recipe to double or triple or multiply. Okay, and this is going to go under the broiler for about 3-ish, 5-ish minutes. And we're just looking for things to get, like I said, bubbly, melty, brown, and crispy, and all good on the top. Ooh. Well, you can see the parchment paper started to scorch a little bit under the broiler, but that's okay. Probably could have thought that through a little bit better. right, we're going to give these just a minute or so to cool down because it's really hot right now. All right, I'm ready. Let's give one of these a shot. I can already tell that's nice and crispy. Wow. I just can't believe it's been so long since I've made one of these. Definitely as good a potato as I have ever had. For sure. Guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Highly encourage you to try this recipe. That's all for now. We'll see you in the next one.